Hi, welcome to Polly Talbot's Kitchen. Hi, I'm Polly Talbot. How are you guys doing? I'm hanging in there. I hope you are too. I'm going to show you tonight a nice, wonderful comfort food. Okay, this is absolutely my real go-to comfort food, and it's also very relaxing to make. It's risotto, and I'm going to use a mushroom, dried mushrooms. We're going to soak them, and then we're going to cook the risotto. I'm going to show you all the steps to it. I will cut so you don't have to watch the whole time. The thing that I want you to realize first is kind of what I have over here. I want you to see I have what you call your mise en place. I have all my ingredients ready to go. First off, risotto is made from arborio rice, and it's a short grain rice. You can see it's shorter than the regular type of rice that you might normally use. But what we're doing when we're cooking it is we're gradually coaxing the starch out of the rice to make it nice and creamy. So it's a very nice creamy dish. So first what I'm going to do, I'm soaking some mushrooms here. Today I'm using dried oyster mushrooms. Okay, they look like this, kind of in different shapes and sizes of pieces. I soaked them. They only need like about a half hour. I soaked them a little longer because I was getting ready earlier. We're going to use shallots. These are the shallots, okay? I chopped those already for you. They're kind of like an onion a little bit, kind of like a cross between onion and garlic a little bit, but have a really nice flavor. You see them a lot in the Thai, in the Asian cuisine, a lot, and also in the French cuisine a lot. And this is a northern Italian dish, so you'll see some French influences. So you see shallots in this. But what I have here is I have everything ready. When you're making risotto, you have to be with it constantly. So you want to really do your mise en place. You want to really make sure you have all your ingredients out. I'm going to start out with some olive oil and butter. I have them right here, a quarter cup of olive oil. And I'm going to use a half a stick of butter, like 4 tablespoons, the whole recipe, but I'm going to first use 2, and then at the very end, I'm going to stir in some more butter. Okay. Then we're going to put the shallots in. Then we're going to add the rice after we cook the shallots. We have our 2 cups of rice. I don't know why I'm making such a big batch, but maybe my son will come over and get some. I don't know. And then we're going to actually put the rice in, and then we're going to put some wine in. That'll be the first thing we'll put in. And then we're going to drain off, I will drain off these mushrooms, and I'll have that liquid. And I also have in this pot, right here, you can't see, but this pot is my stock pot. And I'm going to warm that up, and it's going to kind of be at a gentle simmer the whole time we're cooking. So that'll be ready. Once I take these mushrooms out, I'm going to chop them up. Actually, I'm going to show you that. Towards the end, what we'll do is we'll stir in the Parmesan cheese, the butter, and we're going to stir in an egg yolk. I have an egg yolk ready right here, okay? And that egg yolk is going to make it nice and creamy. That's like a little Sicilian secret to make it nice and creamy. So that's pretty much all the ingredients that we have. So we're going to pour the mushroom soaking liquid into this bowl that has a strainer lined with a coffee filter. So I'm going to filter out so there's no sand or anything. Then I'm going to put that in the pot and get it hot. I'm going to chop up these mushrooms. I'm going to take them here, and I felt around to make sure there wasn't any sand. And if you're using porcini mushrooms especially, you got to make sure that you get all the sand out, because sometimes they have a lot of dirt lodged in the stems and all. So, but I felt around, these seem nice and clean. So I'm going to chop these up. Dried mushrooms are great to have at home because, especially when you're quarantined, because you can have them without having to run to the store. They keep for a long time. I'm just going to cut them a little bit like that. So that'll be perfect for those. Now I'm going to heat everything up, and then I'm going to come back as I start. All right, I'm going to start the butter and I'm going to start the oil in there and the butter. I'm going to move the camera angle so you'll be able to see in the pot, and I'm going to get the hot stock going, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got the pot ready to go. I'm going to turn that on, and I've got my stock coming up in the back. Believe me, it's here. I'm just gonna show you this pot because it's gonna be right out of the camera view. It's right like that, and it's gonna come up to just a gentle simmer. I've got it on high now. I'll turn it down to a simmer once it comes up. And then I'm melting this together. And one of the things that I'm gonna add to the stock is some saffron. I got a few saffron threads. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world because it's from the stigmas of the crocus flower. And they have to be harvested by hand. But fortunately, I forget how many thousands of them it takes to make an ounce, but fortunately, the little bit goes a long way. So I'm gonna put that in here. There's about a half a teaspoon of saffron. And I have my shallots right here. These are my chopped shallots. And you see I have some butter and olive oil. You can just use olive oil if you like, or probably just butter if you like as well. Some kind of fat's gonna go on the bottom here. I like the combination. So got a little of each. So basically the thing is you're needing some kind of fat, olive oil or butter. Then you're gonna have onions of some type. These are shallots. You could use regular onions if you don't have shallots. I'm gonna put some chives in at the very end because everybody's got them growing right now and this time of year outside. So you can use some chives, but I'm just gonna stir those in at the end. But some kind of onion goes in the beginning. I'm gonna cook that a little bit. Just as soon as this is melted, I'm gonna be adding this. Now this pot that I chose, this is, a neighbor gave me this. It's a Le Creuset pot, but it's very, very heavy. But I like it because it's got the sloped sides to it. If you can see, it's got sloped sides. So it's really nice for risotto, really nice. It's very heavy, but it's very nice for risotto. So I'm gonna put the shallots in, and we're gonna cook those. I can give them a few minutes. So I'm gonna turn it off and I'm just gonna get them cooked probably about 5 minutes, and then I'll turn it off and come back on when we add the rice, okay? I think the shallots are about ready. So I think you can see in here, so you can see I'm just gonna keep stirring them around. And now I'm going to add the arborio rice, and we're gonna get it all like combined with the butter and the olive oil. We're just going to stir it around until it's all kind of coated. Like that, just a little bit. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. We're going to stay with this the whole time. I always tell my students this is something to do when you want to think about something or worry about something or figure something out. It's great to sit by the pot and just stir it. It takes 30 minutes, pretty much close to 30 minutes. Sometimes if you use a flatter pan, which is shorter size, you can get it done in a little bit faster time because the liquid will evaporate faster. But usually it takes right around 30 minutes. I like mine nice and creamy. Some people like theirs a little al dente, so if you like it al dente, you would do it a little bit less. It's kind of one of those things, you'll taste it and see how you like it. That's the reason to know how to cook, so everything comes out like you like it. The other thing I wanted to point out, this is something I do sometimes if I have a recipe I'm following. This is our recipe. And I just tape it. I put some Scotch tape on it and I put it right up here. That way I can take a look at it every time I forget what I'm doing. And it's out of the way. I'm not going to lose it. It's in my sight, but out of the way. So that's a great little tip to do. Okay, so we've got this coming up. Pan is nice and holds the heat. You can see the rice is turning. It's kind of like getting a little translucent a little bit. This is very relaxing and also delicious. You can make all kinds of things, all types of risotto. You can use a little pancetta in the butter and olive oil in the beginning. You can make, you can put shrimp in towards the end. You can just make it plain, which is what I really love too. You can make it with all different kinds of vegetables. You put them in at different times. My pot in the back is simmering, so now I'm gonna turn it down so it's nice and low, so it just stays kind of over low heat for a while. Now at this point, I'm gonna add the mushrooms. exhausting. And they're sizzling up because there's some moisture still in them. I did put the mushroom stock in with the mushroom broth in with the chicken stock. You can use beef stock too. You can use vegetable stock if you want to make this vegetarian. Certainly a great vegetarian dish. Now this is ready for the beginning. We're going to take, you can see it's all well combined, soaking up all the liquid, so I can feel it's just beginning to stick a little bit in the bottom. So the very first thing we're going to add is some wine. Wine is a great conductor of flavors. You'll see it a lot in risotto in this first step. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. Now, this is what I want you to see is how you judge when it's time to add more liquid. I'm going to have a ladle here. I have a ladle here on the side. This ladle has been with me a long time. Does anyone remember this pattern? Quite old. Now I can feel it starting to stick a little bit. You can see I can just put my spoon right down the middle and it holds the shape. So we're going to add a ladle full of broth, about a half cup, 3/4 of a cup. And we're just going to continue to add the broth. Each time we're going to wait till we can see the bottom of the pan again when we put the spoon across it. See, you can tell it's not ready. This is great. See, that's about the way you want it to be. It's just starting to come back in. Just a little bit. You don't want it to be totally dry. It'll start to burn. I'm going to add another ladle. And you just got to stir it constantly. I always like to use a wooden spoon with this. And you're going to keep going all around the bottom so you make sure you get the sides and the bottom so that nothing sticks. And always go around the sides and make sure that the pieces are down inside. You see that bubbling up? It smells so good. I'm sorry you can't smell it. Sorry you can't have any with me. So I don't know what all you have been doing to keep yourselves busy, but this is something I'm doing. I'm having fun doing this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. There, you see? I'm kind of getting close to ready again. You see how it cooks out? And you can see how the grains of rice are starting to swell up. A little bit more. Again, the dried mushrooms are perfect to have around because you can put them in a lot of different things. You just soak them in some warm water for like half an hour, drain them out, rinse them if they need to be rinsed, see if they're grit-free, and chop them up. You could put them in omelets, you could put them in a quiche, you could put them in all different kinds of things. And give you that fresh mushroom flavor. And you didn't even have to go to the store, which is pretty scary lately. So I'm going to keep stirring here. I want you to see it now. See, it's getting a little more full. This is ready for another one. I've added about 3 ladlefuls since I was the last with you. Here's another one. And I think at this point I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in. Now, it's best to wait for the major seasoning towards the end because we're going to be using Parmesan cheese. And you also don't know how salty your chicken stock is. So I'm going to add it at the end when we taste. Feel some of it sticking, so. working on it to keep it from being stuck. I can turn it down a little bit, but I like the way it's cooking. So as long as I'm staying here right with it, you do need to stick with it. No answering the phone. Let's put them on speakerphone. Beautiful. It's really a little bit more in a second. I can see it's starting to dry up again. This is the most comforting dish. I think it's my macaroni and cheese, although I like that too. So when you guys are out there watching, if there's anything you want to make, let me know and I'll put it in. I had a request for a mushroom quiche, so we could do that. I have some other things in my mind I want to do, but I want to see what you guys want to do too. Okay, I'm going to turn it off and we'll just keep going a little bit longer. It's not quite ready to taste it. You can see the grains are still white a little bit. I can tell that they're not cooked enough to even bother to taste yet. They need to go a little bit longer, but we'll taste it for texture actually in just a few minutes. It's looking really good. We're coming in on the home stretch. Now, I was just going a little bit low on liquid, so I added some water. If you start to run low on liquid, add a little bit of water to your stock and just make sure you heat it. It has to go in warm. So I'm heating that up because I think I'm gonna need a little bit more. I did just taste it. I'm gonna taste it again. Now, some people like it al dente, like I said. If you like it al dente, you might call it done. I like mine a little bit more cooked. So I'm gonna put another ladle of stock in and cook it a little bit longer. I put it down a little bit because it was starting to stick on the bottom, so you can nurse the heat a little bit like that. But you do want to keep it kind of rolling because you are going to be with it, stirring constantly. This can be your whole meal, or you could just, I think it could be a whole meal. You do have cheese. We are going to put an egg in at the end, so you got some protein in there. But you can do a lot of different things with it. You could serve it as a side dish, or you can serve it as the main course. Whatever you like. It's going to be my main course tonight. Okay, I'm turning that stock down because it's hot. I'm going to add a little bit more. And I think this might do it. I'm going to have you just watch to the end here. See, it's kind of soupy now. Now, the thing with risotto is you really don't want it to wait for people. It's really good to do it and serve it. Think, once you're finished with it, it can sit like 5 or so minutes, and that's really good because the flavors kind of blend and it kind of blossoms at that point. But much after that, you don't want it to sit around because it gets gummy. So you want to get it so that you want to time it. Even if you're having company and you're making it, you could just give somebody a spoon and have them stir. So my arm's getting tired. So people don't mind doing that. They like to help. That's why the cooking school was so successful, because people love to help cook. So whenever you're having company, let everybody help. It's looking good. It's still a little soupy. I'm gonna get a clean spoon. Although what does it matter? It's only me. But almost ready. It's just got a little tiny bit of bite to it. not much, so I want to just give it a little bit more time. You see why this pan is good? Thank you, John, for this pan. Because you could just like put the spoon just goes right into the side, so you can easily stir it. And a wooden spoon is always great when you're doing something like this because you don't want anything to stick. And it's perfect for scraping the bottom. I don't know why I don't like metal. I don't like to do things like this with metal utensils. I don't know why. Looking beautiful. I'm going to grab another spoon. It's hot and it's ready. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a fork. I'm going to take this egg. I'm going to turn it off the heat, and I'm going to take this egg, and it's just an egg yolk, and I'm just going to whirl it in here. I'm going to actually kind of temper the egg yolk a little bit so it doesn't cook right away in chunks, but I'm going to stir that in, and that's going to make it nice and creamy. In there and get all that goodness. Stir that around. We're going to stir in our Parmesan cheese. I'm going to stir in the butter, that other part of that butter that we had from the beginning. And then I'm going to stir in the chives. I wanted to use a 1/4 cup, but I didn't really have a 1/4 cup. So I don't know why everybody else's in their yard is growing like crazy, but my chives aren't growing that much. But this is a great time of year, though. When they do start to come around, you can throw them in omelets. You can do all kinds of things with it. And there, as soon as that's melted, now I'm going to add a little bit more salt. And this is where you're going to taste. Clean spoon. This is good when you start out with a little pancetta in the beginning too. I'm very happy. So, bon appetit. Let me know what you want to make, okay? Thanks for watching, and please tell me what you want to make and watch all the other episodes too. Thanks so much. Bye.